to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars, crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face.
And welcome everyone to the ManCave. My name is Paul Knapp, and I will be your host for tonight's show. This is a special edition. Sorry we didn't announce this because we weren't going to have anything tonight. I literally just got back about 3 hours ago from JoeLanta, and I got with my panel buddies and said, hey, you want to do a quick episode tonight? And explained to everybody what happened at JoeLanta and how it went, and they said, yeah. So we're going to have a special edition tonight. No special guest, I guess, unless you're looking at me as a special guest. Murray, thanks for joining us tonight. My sister, as always, Alan Dawson. Hey, man, I guess you're already back in England, or let's see, Orlando Airport. Man, we got to get you on chatting, brother. Ernie's Attic, how you doing, buddy? Man, we got a lot more people than I thought would tune in tonight. We weren't supposed to have a show tonight, so this is great, man. So let me bring in my other panel members tonight. Of course, we got Mr. Rick Bradshaw. How you doing tonight, sir?
Good.
Sorry to pull you in. I'm glad you were available at the last second to do this, but
anytime, buddy, anytime.
And also we have Stacy Armstrong. How you doing, sir?
Very good, sir. How are you?
Good. And you were on vacation the same time I was on my mini vacation.
Yes, I was in Florida.
How was your drive back?
I don't want to talk about that.
How was your drive there, I should say? Where you were going?
Well, the drive there, I guess, was better than the drive back.
Yeah. So, well, as everybody knows, I was just at JoeLanta. I left here on Thursday morning. My 8.5-hour drive took 10.5 hours. So a little bit of rain, a couple of car crashes on the way, too many that I could count, actually. So overturned 18-wheeler laying right on the highway, slowed everybody down. So also gave me another detour around when I got closer to Atlanta to get away from the flooding waters and stuff. So, but I got there, and like I said, I was doing some live streams from there, just short ones, and the weather was great. I mean, 9 o'clock Friday morning, it cleared out, and it was sunny, and, people were moving their stuff in. So really, Thursday was a worse day than Friday, and that thing started Friday night at 5 o'clock. So how about you, Stacy?
Where
you were. I mean, you don't have to say where you were if you don't want to.
Yeah, well, no, I was in Central Florida. We got a lot of rain, just some high winds. I was up on the 6th floor of the place, and not too bad at all. I mean, you could get around when you wanted to go out. There was no, being as far over as we were, we didn't get it like I know the West Coast did. I have family that lives over there, so I would call in to check on them and stuff like that. But I mean, I kind of wish I would have got to go to JoeLanta, but just it happened to be at the same time, and
So how long did it take you to get? Was it worse getting back home, like driving back?
Yes, it was a little bit. Yeah. I split the drive up in 2 days, going down and coming back same way. And stopped in Kentucky, and then got up this morning, and then left and came, and so I rolled in about 6:30, something like that.
All right.
So yeah, but weather was good, for Florida, if you like the heat.
Rick, any bad weather up in New Hampshire from the hurricane?
Nope, not even a drop.
Not even a drop.
I think we're going to get rain Wednesday. That might be from there.
I even called back here to Virginia Beach saying, hey, how's it up there? They're like, we may have got a little rain on Friday. That was about it,
Aren't you guys maybe possibly going to get hit with the remnants that's coming that way?
Up here?
From the last one, or another one coming now?
No, this last one isn't, because it's still coming that way a little bit? No.
It's nice here today. It was
over. Okay.
The drive back was perfect, but
yeah.
All right, so where do you want to start, man? I know we got Big Boss Jack. I met him this weekend. I got some photos with him. He stopped at my table. So,
I seen your table. Your table looked really good.
you know,
Yeah,
I
We'll
like
get
that carrier with all those dudes in it too. Man.
we'll get to that later, man. But I don't know where. You know what? How about you guys ask me questions? maybe it'll work better that way. 'Cause if I just start talking, nobody else get to talk, and I'm
That's
trying to
all
look
right.
at the questions in the chat room here. But
Well,
where would you like me to start?
should I ask the?
With my roommate
Should
that
I
I had to pick up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, how did that go?
That could have
Well,
been
he's
me.
in the chat. He's in the chat room right now. So most
Well,
of you
he's
guys
also
know
at the
Alan.
bar too. So
Yeah, most of you guys know Alan Dawson.
Right.
He flew in from England. That dude flew in from. He left England the same time I left Virginia Beach. He got to Atlanta before I did. He was in Atlanta at the airport. He said, I'll just take the train up to there. Can you pick me up at the last stop on the train stop? Because it's
yeah,
still
Marta. Yeah.
of where we were at." I said, "Yeah, no problem." So I got in, checked in, left, got him in the pouring down rain. We got him finally back. So yeah, he checked in, and that went well. But he didn't tell me how much he snored, and apparently I failed to tell him how much I snore after I've been drinking. So we balanced each other out. So I think it was, he's probably hurting for sleep right now, and so am I. So
Yeah, both of you.
But,
Yeah.
hey, Logic Blaster, yes sir. We did have that hurricane. We're going to talk about that in a bit. But like I said, we got hit mostly Thursday night, and never lost power, never flooded in the area we were at, but it flooded a lot of the other areas. And then the next morning, like I said, by 9 o'clock, it blew out. I mean, the sun came out. People started moving all their stuff in. And
Yeah.
what was nice about the venue, they let people move in at 7 a.m. Friday
Wow.
morning. Yeah. 7 a.m. Friday morning, you can move your stuff in. A lot of the guys didn't because it was still raining, but by 9
Yeah,
o'clock,
yeah,
they were
yeah.
all over there. And you could load in up until 5 o'clock until the thing started. So I talked to Brett. We had him on the show a couple weeks ago, one of the producers, Brett Barton, and he said last night, there was probably about 92 vendors out of all. So it was pretty big size. You know what I mean? I want to say I saw about 3 or 4 empty tables starting on Friday night.
Right.
There was people that said they just couldn't do it with the rain or wherever they were located. So
Right.
some of the vendors opened up and had 2 spaces instead of 1. So it didn't really look empty. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
As far as the venue itself was concerned, amazing. I mean, it was like a place you would do Comic-Con at. You know what I mean? It was that cool.
It looked big and open, and
dude,
and
it wasn't the first floor of a hotel. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not that the last place was bad, but this was just huge.
Yeah.
Enough room in the aisles that you could have
right. You can set your
five
stuff
people
down
across and not
everything.
like 2 people shoulder to shoulder like some of
Yeah,
the places
yeah,
you've been
right.
to. You know what I mean? So that, I mean, they got to keep that place. They got to do whatever they got to do to keep that place going. But yeah, I mean, Ace was there, obviously. Daryl DePriest was there. He had a table. The local guys that we all know,
Right.
the 1/6 scale guys. So Ace was actually right there. As soon as you walked in, boom, he was there. So, and I really got to hand it to Alex and Brett who put it all together.
Right.
They couldn't have been any nicer, helping everybody. You were short on tables, they hooked you up. Just everywhere. You know what I mean? Security there was perfect. As far as the venue's concerned, like I said, probably one of the best ones I've ever seen. Now I've never set up a table before, so I got nothing to compare it to. But I've been to a lot of shows,
Right.
and that venue they used is probably, one of the nicest I've ever seen. So
Okay.
But
Very good.
Yeah, it's good when stuff is spread out. You can walk down the aisles.
oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Sometimes you bump into people and while you're trying
Sure.
to look at stuff, and it's
Oh, yeah. I mean there was people with baby carriages and still not having to squeeze through aisles. I mean, these were wider than Walmart aisles. You know what I mean? So
Oh
it was,
yeah.
it was nice. It was nice. You know what I
No,
mean?
yeah, I actually appreciate stuff like that because it gives you room to kind of spread out if you're looking at stuff too,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Big
noticed
Boss,
that.
Big Boss Jack came to my table and he saw that troop carrier that I had with 27 figures in it. I said, "How much money did you bring?" He's like, "Not enough for that, man." But he wasn't there more than 10 minutes, and he walks to my table. He goes, "Hey, can I put this on your table?" And it's a big a Humvee, man, a Desert Storm
Oh
Humvee.
yeah.
I was like, damn, dude, you just walked in. He goes, yeah, I know. I got to go back to that table. He comes back 10 minutes later, and then he's got a German motorcycle. He's like, can I put this on your table? I said, you better save some room for my shit, dude. You didn't even start buying from me yet, you know?
Need to rip the cases out.
So,
Yeah, he scored a couple of good vehicles.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He,
pictures, yeah.
it was that, what's that German? It wasn't a, I can't remember the name. It has tracks on it. You know what I mean? It has the tracks.
Kettencrad. It's a Kettencrad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, he got one of those, man. He got his hand on one of those, and
Classic German over engineering, I guess.
Yeah.
but it was out of the box. But he got a good deal on it, so he was loving it. And
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah.
which show is bigger between DFW and JoeLanta? I didn't make it to DFW, but I would say probably DFW this year. But JoeLanta, they said they're already. So the way they had it set up was it was one of the center uh, spaces, I guess.
Uh-huh.
And the wall on the one side, you can remove that and make it twice the size.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing for Toylanta. And he said he wants to get enough vendors after Toylanta to bring them back to JoeLanta to have
Okay.
that wall open. So now you're looking at probably
Double
200
space.
vendors, space for
Yeah.
200 vendors easily. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But this year, I would say DFW was probably bigger, but JoeLanta next year is probably going to be twice the size as it was this year. You know what I mean? He said he had a waiting list of people. Unfortunately, couldn't fit them in, and then due to the weather,
Right.
you know, some people
Yeah.
cancel. But that wasn't the game plan. But
Now, did they have like in-room trading too, where you could go to?
so they had room reservations at this one hotel, which was literally in walking distance. There was the venue was here. You had a parking garage here, and our hotel was on the other side. I mean, it took me 5 minutes to walk from my hotel through the parking garage, and I was there. Okay.
Right.
That hotel, we got a special rate. Everybody that stayed, you know, you just told them GI Joe, you know, convention, and they gave you a special rate there. And that's where they did all the room trading, and that's also where they did the lobby swap. The first night was lobby swap, so that was Friday night, and then Saturday they had a board there, and they just said room trading, and you put your name up or what room you're in, and you could trade there.
Right.
Now there were some people trading in the lobby that didn't, you know, but for the most part, it was just put your name up and.
And did they
What
do
were
the parachute drop? Because I know
Did not do that this year. No, they had no area to do it really. I mean, the parking garage would probably be the only thing, but I don't
Yeah.
think they got clearance for that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
now again,
maybe
let me
next year.
yeah. So there was, and like Ace and I were talking last night, there was probably only about 12 1/6 scale vendors that were there. And they called it Joe Row. So as soon as you walked in on your left, Ace kind of kicked it off, and then it went down from there. You know, Sergeant Van was there with Scott Wild. Yeah, he's
Wild,
always there. George Gray was there, his wife. You know, so the normal ones. Corey, I don't know if you know Corey. I can't think of the trading name that he used, but he has all the BBI and DF.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have any Hasbro stuff, but he was down right by me.
Okay.
So all of us were kind of lined up there, and then there were people that had other stuff and GI Joes on the far wall. So if you counted them all up, we probably had like 12 people that were just, you know, geared for the more 1/6 scale stuff.
Right.
There was a couple vendors that had one or two pieces, but they were mostly there for the 3 3/4 stuff or the 6-inch stuff. So but I'll tell you what. Steve Stovall was there. He had his table, and he took me around and introduced me to a lot of people that I didn't know. So I got a list of like 12 people lined up for future shows for us, man. So
excellent.
You know, with committed emails and like, oh yeah, we watch your show, you know, blah blah blah. So,
excellent. That's
So
perfect.
I got business cards, I got stuff. It was really cool. Now the upstairs, I forgot to tell you. Now the upstairs area, they had for the VIPs, and I guess the one area was open to everybody was the makers room.
Okay.
So they had Chuck up there, who was just on the show, and he had a big diorama set up with all his figures and the outfits that he made for that. And then they had a couple dioramas set up, but not too many. And I think again, due to the weather and stuff, a lot of people probably didn't truck their dioramas in and you know, custom figures or whatnot. So that area was kind of open. They could have used that more. And then the makers that were there, you know, Steve Bug. I don't know if you met. He always does the big plastic
Oh yeah. I know that. Yeah.
form. Yeah. So these
Yeah.
are the ones that he was making.
Oh,
If you
cool.
guys can see that.
JoeLanta,
So it's
okay,
a giant. It's a giant dog tag that says JoeLanta.
Yeah.
So can't be
Cool.
painted or whatever. So he was making those, and then what also he was making that apparently Cotswold one of these a while ago, and then didn't do anything with them. Can you see that?
Oh, the bunkers. Yeah.
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 So for a $20,
emplacement.
for a
Yeah, the
$20
emplacement.
donation to the Buddy Finothy Foundation, raise money to help pay the bill.
Yeah.
You got one of these.
Oh, nice.
So I bought two of these. I'm going to paint those out and put them in.
I know you're gonna paint them up. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I mean, I thought they were cool, and I was like, oh man. I mean, it's plain white, but
Can you use them for your army men too?
it's a little big for that scale, but it's definitely great for
Okay.
1/6 or even
Definitely. Yeah.
9-inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes, if anybody wants one, we're just asking for a donation. I was like, oh heck yeah, man.
I'll donate twice.
Yeah, I was like, I need two of those. So that worked out cool. And then they had QM Customs. Have you seen her before?
Yeah.
Kathy. Yep.
Okay.
So she was there with her sewing machine, and she was actually like, guys were walking in and say, hey, can you make this? Can you make that? Or can you fix this?
Really?
And yeah, they were like fixing outfits right there, So,
Oh,
I
my.
mean, that was really cool. It was just, I think a lot of people either didn't know or didn't realize they were actually going to be there doing stuff for people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we just said there was going to be makers there showing off their wares, but
Right.
they were actually there.
Next year
like
around, though.
like Chuck. Chuck made something for Buddy Rick. Right there. He wanted a canvas top for his Jeep, the trailer part. Dude, like 20 minutes later, he just took it upstairs. 20 minutes later, he comes down. He's like, here you are, man. And
Wow.
Rick was like, that's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah.
So they need to, advertise that maybe a little bit more. But
Sure. Definitely.
so, and that was upstairs. And then they had a VIP room.
Oh, yeah.
Ace was all jealous because he didn't get one of those.
Nice.
I told him he has to have a YouTube channel to get one of those.
Yeah.
So they had a VIP room where you could actually just sit and chill, but then it was like a conference room. And then they had like all these video games set up where you could just play some video games on your lunchtime, if you wanted to just sit around, had some snacks there. And that's also where they had the displays of the figures that they made or the outfits that they made just for this show.
Right.
So that's where they had the Cotswold, the one that Brett showed us a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And they had the 9-inch one that Steve Stovall put together.
Right.
So they were all in there, and you could buy them right there. Okay. So it was available for the VIPs first. And then I don't know if they had extras. They, probably told people they could go upstairs and buy them.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah.
Did you get the JoeLanta shirt, that blue and green?
I did not pick that up, man. I was like, so what had happened was I was waiting till the last day because, a lot of times they drop the prices.
I should have reached out to you and had you get me one.
I know. And I was waiting for people to say, hey,
extra
pick this up. So I know they have leftovers. But so the last day, the Sunday, apparently about 20 miles away or so, there was a chemical fire at a big chemical plant that caught on fire and exploded. And they had to quarantine off 2 neighborhoods, which was right on, I think they said Route 120. Oh. So right in the middle of our Sunday show, they said, hey, we hate to say this, but, if you live that way, you might want to start packing early or, get on the road. We're going to help you out as best we can. And we're like, are you kidding me? First a hurricane on the first day, and then the chemical spill on the last day. So people were packing up and like 3. It was open until 4:30 on Sundays, but about 3 o'clock, some of the vendors were starting to break down because they had to head that way. I know Steve Stovall, he was like, dude, we got an 8-hour drive heading back to Kentucky, So
yeah.
They did like 6 or 7 hours at the show and then got 8 hours on the road. But for the most part, I think most of the vendors kind of stayed till about 4. But yeah, it was supposed to wrap up around 4:30 and they shut it down a little early. And that's when I went out front, but all the security was gone. They wrapped up everything. So, but yeah, it was all in all, I mean, on a scale from 1 to 10, it was a 10 for me because I've never done one.
Right.
I know some of the other vendors were kind of upset, not because of the venue,
right,
not because of the hotel or anything else or the timing. It was the amount of people that came to it. How many visitors.
Well, that was likely due to the hurricane that was coming.
And that's what I said. Ace and I were talking last night, and he said, well, one, you got the election coming up. A lot of people don't want to spend money around this time. They're not too sure.
Yeah.
The hurricane obviously scared a lot of people away because they don't know where the flooding is in that Atlanta area, even though we didn't get hit. And then chemical spill on Sunday, it was like bam, 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 you know what I mean? But I kept trying to get online and saying, hey, man, the weather's great. If you're around the area, come on in. And so were a lot of the other YouTubers were there, and they were saying the same thing to get their people there. But, it just wasn't the turnout, I think, people-wise, that they thought it was going to be. But, again, first time, new location, new guys putting it on. It wasn't Buddy, you know what I mean? So I think next year, though, man, if the word gets out about this new venue, well, they're going to use the same venue for JoeLanta. So I think once the JoeLanta people see that,
okay, yeah,
that'll boost JoeLanta even more. Yeah.
How was the cosplay? Did the cosplay?
So I took pictures of a lot of the cosplayers. I asked them if they would just go in my my booth and just do a little thing.
Yeah,
man, it was hard to tell because I know some of the guys, they wear one outfit on Saturday and then a different one on Sunday. So I'm not sure, do you count that as two people or do you count that as one? But I'd say there's probably 10 each day, maybe, 10 different
that's good.
ones.
Yeah,
I know Valaverse had a girl at his table that looked like one of his figures. I don't follow his figures.
Pandora. She was Pandora.
Yeah, with her hair shaved on the one side.
Yeah.
She was walking around all day. Yeah, all day Saturday and promoting that. Nice. So that was kind of cool. And then a lot of Cobra, a lot of Destros, a lot of Cobra Guard, things like that. We're walking around all day. So
Hall of Fame's big, so.
Oh yeah,
it works. Yeah.
Now the other thing was Sergeant Slaughter was there.
I seen the pictures.
So this was the drawing or the picture. I don't know how well you can see that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That they were doing for the event.
Uh-huh.
Now you got this one free.
Okay.
If you wanted to get this one signed, or if you paid for a VIP package, you got a different one, same kind of picture, a little bit different color, and then you could go over and have it signed by the artist. Now I got mine signed here by the artist. Whoop,
there you go. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And the artist was free.
Uh-huh.
Sergeant Slaughter wasn't free. Sergeant Slaughter's making some money, man. So he was $100.
Yeah. So you don't want to disappoint him.
Yeah. So I didn't get needless to say, I didn't get my picture or my autograph from Sergeant Slaughter. But he was literally across the table from Ace all day long. And he kind of kept his head down the whole time. He was outfitted up. He had his handler there with him, and don't stop and shake a hand or take a picture unless you pay him, man.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's how they make their money. I get it. It is what it is, but it's not like the old days because you just walk up and talk to them, or when Jake the Snake was there one time. It's pay as you go kind of thing. So,
all right. So I'm gonna tell you this one. I had to tell anybody this. The first time I went to JoeLanta. No, it was JoeLanta. He was there. And I was kind of in a hurry to try to get back to the table where Paul was. And I was kind of going through real quick, and I bumped into him. And it was like hitting a brick wall, kind of bounced off him a little bit. I said, "Oh, excuse me." And he goes, "You better be." I was like, okay.
Well, it was funny. Last night when we were sitting in the lobby, we got done eating. We all went out to eat with Buddy and then said our goodbyes. And the rest of us that were in the hotel went back, sat in the lobby. We are just talking about the weekend. And here comes his handler and him in around 9:45. Well, they shut the bar. They do last call in the bar at 9:30. They shut the bar down at 10, and he's coming in at 9:45. And his handler's like, "Hey, man, the bar's still open. Sarge wants a beer." Like, sorry. Yeah, I'll just go to my room and drink. We're like, "You can hang out with us. We'll go buy a 6-pack." Nah. Let's go to my room. It's kind of like the get off my lawn kind of guy.
Yeah, that's my only run in with him. I did that. He's like, I'm like, "Oh, okay."
So I ran into Scuba Pete. Scuba Pete was there.
Okay.
He made the trip, and his wife. Very nice. They came to my table. They actually bought one of my ATVs, my conversion one, the red one that I made with.
Okay.
Nice.
How did you do on your training towers? Did you sell any of those?
Training tower I still have.
How about your dioramas that you made?
Yeah.
Half of them went, half of them are back.
Yeah, it looked like some went.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And how'd
50-50
the
on
Barbie
those.
motorhome go? That's still there?
That the last 10 minutes of the show yesterday, it's sold.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Nice.
So, yes, I had one customer that came back twice, bought stuff on Saturday, light and polite, and she had bought from me before via one of our Facebook pages.
Uh-huh.
And then came back again the next day. And she said, are you still open? That's when we were packing up, right?
Right.
Like, yeah. I said, I got the figures here, but I was taking my tablecloths off and everything. She's like, well, I can't decide. I said, I tell you what, since you came back, I'll give you 2 for the price of 1, So, that's
Nice.
great. That's great. So she bought 2.
Yep.
And then she's staring there, and I didn't have a case for that, the yellow van,
Right.
and that and a big tank. I was going to put them on my cart, and she's like, I really like that. I said, well, that's one of a kind, I mean, there was one other one there that somebody did, but it was nowhere near. I don't know who made it. I don't want to say, you know what I mean, but it wasn't detailed. They didn't have lights in it, nothing like I did.
Yeah.
And everybody kept saying they were taking pictures of it the whole time, and they're like, man, that's cool. That's cool. I was like, it could be yours, you can take it home with you. It's so big. It's so big. Well, she's like, I really like that. I said, well, you literally just PayPal'd me $200. I don't want,
Yeah.
And she goes, nope. And she PayPal'd me another. So I was like, I'll
Awesome.
help you. I will walk it to your car for you.
Yep.
So
Awesome.
I did that.
Yeah, that's cool.
You did good. That's good.
Yeah. So, I mean, that really made my weekend was
Sure.
that last purchase. Cause it was kind of a bad day, slow day on Sunday.
Yeah.
Sundays are hit and miss,
Yeah.
sometimes.
Friday night was kind of in because some people don't come for just 3 hours. They want to be there the whole day. So
Right.
Friday was slow. Saturday was big. And then Sunday kind of because of that. And, church day and all that. So, but yeah. So I just wanted to clarify some things. I know people were asking, I was getting texts, throughout the day. Well, you text me too, Stacy, of, was the show worth it? I think it was. But if you're just like me, just a 1/6 scale guy,
Yeah.
probably not the best, show for you to go to.
Right.
If you're like Rick, who does all scales, you're in heaven, man, because you got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could hit Valaverse, you could hit, all the other ones and the 1/6 scale. And there was plenty of vintage guys selling 1/6 scale stuff. It wasn't just
He
the
would have
Hall of Fame
enjoyed
stuff.
that. Yeah, he would have. Valaverse was there.
Oh yeah. I mean, he'd have been there all day.
Yeah.
Rick would have been moving in.
Yeah. Some
know,
of the videos, some of the vendors looked really good.
Yeah.
Chris Rossman, right? You were the one that gave me his name, right? Chris Rossman?
Yeah. Yeah.
Karate guy or the knife? Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, he was there all 3 days with his wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like,
Nice.
aren't you getting bored? He's like, no, man. He's like, I'm into this. And he's like,
Well,
I looked at I wasn't
his
sure if his wife wanted to
pictures-
be there. I was like, if you're here against your will, just blink twice, And she's like, no, I really love this. She goes, he's in a good mood, and we're having fun. I was like, okay,
Nice.
Yeah, his pictures on Facebook, he looked like he was having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he'd get over to see Sergeant Slaughter. There was a lot of people that were, waiting in line to see him, and then there was a lot of people like, I'm not paying that much money.
Yeah.
So, but. So what other kind of questions you got about JoeLanta, man? I don't want to make this a long show. I know it's just us 3 talking, and we don't have a special guest on, but
Well, it's too bad that the bad weather and shit happened. It sure would have been interesting to see what kind of turnout if if everything went.
I
well.
know, yeah.
I wonder.
Well, you've been to JoeLanta before, right, Stacy?
I have. Yeah. I have. Yeah.
I mean, you know how crowded that was.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sometimes
I went
you
to
barely
last
walk
March.
around.
Yeah, I went this March, and I mean that was packed.
Yeah.
All 3 days pretty much. Friday,
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
Yeah. Well, I was going to see if I could try to make it in, but it just wasn't going to be possible. So with everything going on, but what were the table sizes for you? Like are they 8-foot tables, 6-foot tables?
So they started off with 8-foot tables, and apparently they ran out, and they had to have 6-foot tables.
Okay.
So that was another issue. But Brett said, that's totally on them. That's not what he ordered, but that's what they delivered.
Sure.
It was kind of like too late, I mean,
and it's the first time, so
yeah, you're already setting up Friday night. You can't really send them back and hurry up and get 8-footers. So he's like, it is what it is. I don't know if he maybe refunded some people. I'm not sure, but yeah, if you're there and you like that one guy, George, I mean, he had like I think he bought like 4 spaces. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Well, if
Yeah.
you're expecting 8-foot tables, 4 of them, you get 4 6-footers.
Yeah.
That's a lot of space of
Yeah.
missing. You know what I mean? So maybe,
Yeah.
you know, now a lot of like I brought my own little folding table, so I had that table, little folding one on the side. You know, and you could do that if you had enough space in your booth. Most people that I was looking at, they made like a little U, you know,
Kind of like a little, cubby,
little
like,
C shape, and then people
Yeah.
could come in and do that instead of just sitting right behind your table.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Were you
Did you,
able to do any work? Like if somebody brought something to you, could you do a repair or something there?
Nah, that
Did
was
they
more
have
upstairs for
electricity
the
available?
makers. The makers
Okay,
room had
cool.
more space. I was even looking for an outlet. I was going to do. I had brought my laptop and I set it there. And I was like, man, I could just do this
Right.
there and just turn the camera. I couldn't even find an outlet anywhere along the. And I was even on the
Okay.
wall side, so I brought extension cords and everything, so I couldn't do that. And then
Oh,
Brett had mentioned that you know you can go upstairs in a VIP room
yeah.
and do your interviews and stuff up there. And I was like, well, that's great, but I was by myself at my table. That leaves nobody at my table.
Everybody at the table,
You know,
right?
so
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, if I do it again, I'll either like you know somebody goes with me and mans a table, or I don't do a
Rick
table.
will
I'll
go
just,
with you.
yeah, or I'll just do interviews and you know what I mean, not have stuff. But yeah, you know, it was still a great time. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
Yeah,
it was,
yeah. Oh no, yeah,
it
definitely.
was
Yeah.
cool. So
did
I'm
you
trying to read some of the.
did you pick up any cool stuff? Ernie asked if you got any good pickups.
So you know, like I said, these were donation that I did, but I'm definitely going to do something with that. From Corey, I picked up these, and
Okay.
they're tires, obviously, but
Right. Yeah.
I need that tread mark for some of the dioramas that I do to wheel and make like you know muddy roads and stuff like that. And I was
Sure.
like, "How much you want for those?" He's like, "Give me $5 for 2." I said, "All right, cool." So
Okay,
this isn't
that's
so
good.
much for a diorama; it is for that tread
Yeah.
mark that I want to use. So pick
Right.
that up. Paul gave me this free. I needed one more, and he hooked me up with that. I appreciate that. Ace gave me a sticker. I don't know what the hell, you know, but I guess you could consider that a freebie. I don't
Is that
know.
backwards? I can't read. Oh, it's vintage 3.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know what
that's the
Yeah.
website that he took over. So he
Yeah,
got
yeah.
some decals made. So
Cool.
that'll go up on my
You
mirror
know,
here.
what
And then,
that's a takeoff on?
what,
That
that,
sticker?
that looks
movie,
like
the Battle of the Bulge, the movie.
Battle of the Balls. That's what I thought, man. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
the
Yep.
tank coming at
Oh
you.
yeah, kind of. Yeah, the tank.
But I did pick up 2 vintage painted head Joe skis.
Oh,
So
there you
I needed 2 painted head ones and snagged these. Pretty good condition. One crack on the knees, but other than that,
Common. It's
the
common.
paint looks pretty good.
Yep.
Good.
So I picked up those.
They both black hairs.
Yep, both black hair. And that was really it. I had my list of wants, and I was sticking to that. You know, it was like going to Walmart and saying, no, don't deviate from my grocery
Did you
list.
sell
here.
any of your boxed, your white
I sold
box?
5 of those. Yeah,
Nice.
sold 5. And Scuba Pete wants one too, and because he bought the red ATV, and then he texted me on his way home. He's like, "Hey, dude, I need a I need a Red Shadows figure to go with that Red Shadows ATV." And I said, "I got 3 of them left, man. I'll send you pictures." So he's probably gonna want one. I'll send it to him. But
Yeah.
Cool.
And they had a
Um,
diorama contest too, right?
yeah, that was upstairs. Like I said, there was only like 2 dioramas that showed up, though. I think it was
Yeah.
a lot of
So-
people that, you know,
Yeah.
if you don't commit to that and have to like pay to be in it or something, I think they're like,
Yeah.
it rained or something, or I'm not going to go or whatever. So
Yeah.
now Steve
I think a lot
Stovall
of
wanted
people
me
are just
to,
scared to come out.
yeah,
Okay.
Steve Stovall wanted me to talk
Oh, yeah.
about this a little bit. You know, this is coming up. This is Winterfest. This will be
Yep.
in January, the first
Yep.
or the last weekend in January, and this is definitely for the 1/6 scale guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? He said it's probably 75% 1/6 scale and 25% 3 3/4 guys. So put that on your calendars, guys. That's January 25th, and it is in Shepherdsville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Same place he had the Kentuckiana this summer. So let's see. What else can I talk about? Like I said, I made connections with a lot of different people, man.
I saw you with a lot of the photos. So the single shots, like where you were.
Yeah. So the video I'm going to work on this week, and I'll show a little just put it to music and show you the stuff that was there, along with the cosplayers guys and things like that.
Okay.
Do you guys know Carson? He did the 3D Joe's site, and now he put the book together. He's
Oh, I didn't
working
know
on
he
the
was doing a
art.
book.
He's working on a book for the artwork for all the GI Joe.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So he's going to come on the show and talk about his book.
Nice. Okay, good.
We got him lined up. Chet Peters. I don't know if you guys know him.
No, I don't know.
Todd Henderson. He's from Destro Toy Den. Not sure if you guys know him. Corey from Panzer Allen.
Heard of
No,
Panzer
I've
Alley.
heard of him, yeah.
Panzer Alley. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's definitely lined up. Oh, here's another thing I picked up. Rick, you might. Let me get this bigger, and you might know what this is. Some guy came to my table and he goes, "You do dioramas?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Here," and he hands this to me. I'm like, "Oh, cool."
Barbed wire.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought. He's like, "No." He goes, "Think of
Oh.
1/12 scale," and I was like,
Is that Spider-Man?
"Yeah, Spider-Man." It's metal webbing that he made.
Oh, wow.
And,
Yeah. So
he
you
goes-
can bend it and form it.
Oh yeah, any way you want.
Cool.
So
Is what, like aluminum wire? Is that what it is?
feels like steel to me. I mean, he made 2 of them.
Okay.
So Rick, they're coming to you.
Awesome. Yes.
with some of the dioramas that didn't sell, buddy. So I expect some good pictures coming. I met this is the second time I met him, but Michael French from Retro Blasting.
Yep.
He was there. He showed up with Scuba Pete and talked to him a little bit, and then I gave him one of the dioramas that had his logo on it. I was like, "You're either gonna love this or you're gonna sue me. Either way." But and he's looking at it. He's like, "Oh shit, that's my logo." And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "We okay with that?" He's like, "Hell yeah." I said, "Well, it's yours. Then you can have it." He's like, "You serious?" And I said, "As long as you come on my show sometime and talk about, He said, "I'd love to." So
Cool.
hopefully he meant it. I know he's doing a live stream right now on his channel. So
Yeah.
but yeah, hopefully.
I saw Greg Cook had bought one of your dioramas too.
Yep. Great cook.
Yeah, I seen him holding it.
Yeah, he was there. He's almost at 100,000 followers, man. I mean, he's big time.
Yeah.
And I just watched his review on it today, and he gave it a 10 out of 10. You know what I mean? As far as the venue is concerned, and all the people that were there, again, you can't control how many people show up. I mean, it's like
No.
But that show had everything he likes. I mean, he was finding stuff left and right.
He went. I saw him go straight to Valiverse. Like, I want
And he
one
buys
of these,
those.
one of these. Yeah,
He loves those Mythic Legion figures.
Yep,
He buys
yep.
those.
And the Animal Kingdom. Was it
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were going crazy too. People were lined up at that table buying stuff.
Well, I think it's it's one of the only ways you can get that stuff, because if you try to buy it online, you can't find it.
Yeah,
Everything's sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you got to go to these things, though. You really do. You find stuff that's not selling, anymore. You pick it up. I'm always looking for just stuff for like the 1/6 for me. Like, so it might be a different scale, but if it's something I can use, I'm gonna pick it up.
Yeah, and like I said, for 1/6 scale guys, there was maybe 12 vendors there. Now it was good stuff. You know what Ace brings. I mean, he ain't bringing crap. He's bringing expensive
Unfortunately, I don't think I can afford anything at Ace's table.
I know, but like the tables next to him, Sergeant Van had middle of the road stuff.
Yeah.
The guy next to him, Paul, he had he had 3 or 4 boxes with $1 stuff. I mean, but you could fix stuff. That has a little, it needs a button on the pants or something, or needs a little stitch.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's like but he had a whole box full of dollar stuff, and then he had stuff behind glass too. The Adventure Team stuff or harder to find stuff. But everything was priced unless it was boxed and the box was perfect,
Yeah.
A lot of people were saying it was priced to sell, definitely. So except Ace.
Except Ace,
But Ace just goes because he likes to go. He just sees everybody there, and
I mean, you get to hang around with other guys, and if you sell something, it's great. If you don't,
and that was my objective. If I got my hotel room, if I made enough money to pay for my hotel room and the gas, then if I'm out $100, that's only $100 for
Big
4
deal.
days. You know, hanging out with
You
friends.
paid
You know,
$100 for some entertainment.
Yep.
yeah. I mean, that's
It's like
you know,
gambling or anything else.
yeah, exactly. So,
Gambling.
yeah,
Well, I didn't mean it bad. Like, I just mean I look at it like when I go and spend money gambling, like it's like bowling or golfing or
exactly.
as entertainment. Because
Yeah.
if you win, that's great. But if you lose, you can't. Don't be spending your
Yeah, it's still good.
money.
Yeah, it's still a good
Right.
time. I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
yeah. So,
So
Rick, for you, it'd be like going to a strip club. You know, same
he can't afford it now. He's got a new truck.
Those days,
$100 on stage or $100 for
Those
a toy.
Car payment.
buddy, those days are long past. Those places are too far to drive to now.
They don't even have them around here, man. You see more at the beach than you do at those.
They have them around here, but you got to go to the seedy part of town, and it's
CD part of town.
yeah. Well, you got to go. You got to go down to Mass.
Oh, Jason Schumacher. I think that's how you say it. White Elephant Toys.
Oh yeah, I know.
heard that, yeah.
Yeah. So he wants to come on and talk about his new
Excellent.
the Commander and the
Excellent. He's a good person to have on. Yeah.
the green. What the hell is with
Yep.
the light in the chest?
Yeah. Super Joe.
Gorgon. Is it Gorgon?
Oh, Gorgon. Yeah. The
Yeah,
green
they
one.
just came out with a new one. Yeah.
The enemy.
Yeah.
I
So
got one.
it
of
looked
those.
really cool. It looked really cool when he was there.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Hector Ortiz, who does
Hector
all my
Ortiz.
he made it. He flew in. He made it, man.
Oh, nice.
So he was there Friday night and Saturday, I think. Maybe it was Saturday and Sunday and he left. No, he flew out Sunday morning. Yeah, so it was Friday and Saturday. He hung out at my table for a while and people were asking about, I took the fire engine that I made and the SWAT thing, and he brought some of his cards and put them there, and they were asking. I was like, well, this is the guy that did the stickers, the decals, and so he was making some connections too. So that was
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Forgot he
Well,
was
that's what
there.
you got to do. Sometimes you got to mingle and
Oh yeah.
bring lots of cards. But you
I
hand
say
your cards out.
QM Customs definitely going to get her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Chris Rossman. That's it. I mentioned him already. So, but yeah, it was. I wanted some girl, counterintelligence code named Scarlet. She gave me her thing. She was a cosplayer. I gave her my card. She's like, "Here's mine." I was like, all right, Scarlet. Is that your real name, Scarlet, or is that? But
Paul's got a new girlfriend.
apparently, but Destro's there. He was watching me, man.
And do a show with just cosplayers.
You could.
That'd be
you
fun.
could. Yeah. That would be a good idea.
I don't know how much cosplayers collect. Are they
No.
just?
I'm sure they're going to want to get paid though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, ask away, man. If you guys had questions about it, or your Big Boss Jack, like I said, he's in the chat room. He was there. He could tell you. Ran into him on. He came yesterday or today. What's today? I'm losing track of time. Today's Monday.
Today's Monday. I know.
He was there yesterday.
Right. So let me ask you a question then. So you said that the 1/6 scale was down one way. So how did they do? Like, did they separate 3 3/4 and then 1/12
Everything else was
scale?
pretty much
Or they
mixed
just intermingled
Yeah,
them?
yeah. I mean, Valaverse, obviously, he was the big one. He was right in the center,
Right.
of the center stage, basically.
Yeah.
Right
I
next
see
to him.
the display that he had out front was
Yeah,
like, oh my god.
Yeah. There was some other big one, and then the Animal Kingdom was across from him.
Yeah.
So the ones that had their the biggest banners and the biggest
Right.
tables, they were right in the center. And then everybody else, there was a couple tables that were strictly comic books. That maybe 2 or 3 vendors were just comic books. So if you're into that, you had a couple places to go to. There were some guys that looked like they had their own brick and mortar store somewhere local in Atlanta, and they came to this. I think they said there's like 6 around the Atlanta area that were there. So they had a whole mixture of, everything from Hot Wheels cars to, the G.I. Joes to little G.I. Joes, or everything in between.
Yeah. Comic books and stuff like that too.
Yeah. So I mean, you had some of those vendors that were that. Majority of them were action figures, though, man. Toy Federation, he was there as soon as you walked in. He had a huge one, and I mean, his stuff was stacked to the ceiling. You know what I mean?
Now, if somebody was new coming in there and you came through the door, is that where you paid and you could buy whatever package you wanted, maybe get your shirt there?
Yeah. So they did everything outside the door.
Okay.
They had a security guard there, like earlier during the day, and I'll show that in my video. I had this one on, but I didn't have the vendor one showing, and the security guard stopped me. He's like, "You can't go in yet." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And I forgot I didn't have this
Yeah.
one on me. So, yeah, you did all that outside and got your badge, and then you either said, like, if people were there just for one day, I think it was like $10 or $15. They just got a wristband. They didn't get anything. If you bought the VIP package, you were there for all 3 days, or could be all 3 days.
Right. That's
And
what I would have.
that gave you access to everything upstairs,
Everything, yeah.
downstairs.
Because that's worth it, really. It is.
Yeah,
If you're gonna
snack
be there 2
room.
days,
So.
then it's worth it for you.
Yeah.
Know, to
Oh
buy it
yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
You already saved money if you're there
Yeah,
for
you
just
save
even
money.
just 2 days. Because that's what Hector did. He was like, yeah.
So the security guy, did it look like I could outrun him
No,
to get by?
no, and they had guns. They had guns too.
That's
And there was 2 of them walking around all day.
yeah.
And then
They were like, that's him.
Were they,
If I
were
got
they,
in.
were they dressed as Cobra troopers?
no,
That
but
would've been funny.
they had vests on, man. So I
Oh, they
wasn't
did.
going to punch them.
Yeah.
Oh, Angel was there. Remember Angel?
Oh, Angel Munez, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
that's
there
right.
with
They
Spidey.
told me everything. Yeah.
Spidey, do you know Spidey?
Yeah.
He was at his table. So those 2 were together. He bought. I was going to tell you, he bought one of the plastic parachutes that I took.
Oh, so you still have one left?
No, I sold the other one too. I sold them both.
I
But
told you would.
I had
though.
to hound him down, and he goes, "Do you take pesos?" I said, "Motherfucker!" I said, "No, I don't," because I held it for him for. He wanted it on Saturday. I said, "Okay."
So-
Well, then Saturday wound it down, and he never came over again. Sunday comes around. I'm looking for him. I couldn't find him. I go to Spidey's table. He's like, I don't know where he's at either. I'm paying him to be here and help me out. He's like, go find him. I go walk around. He's outside talking to a security guard. I go, hey. I said, do you want this parachute thing? Or if not, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to put it back on my table. Oh, yeah. How much? I said, we said originally 40, but I'll give you 35 since you're a vendor. He goes, that's 35 pesos, right? I'm like, I don't know. Is that more than $35 or less? I said, I think it's less. I was like, no, man, I want money. I want cash. I said, we're in America. I want cash. I want American money. So I finally got the $35 from him, but he's a funny guy, man.
Yeah.
I go to the security guard. I said, you got a gun, don't you? If he takes off running, right? He's like, oh yeah, we got guns. I said, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tracked him down. He was a good guy. He hooked me up. Trying to think who else dude, there were so many people I ran into. This little kid, Ethan, man, I got pictures of him. He comes up to me, couldn't have been more than 14 years old. And he had been at Ace's table for a while. His mother was with him. I saw him. They came down to me, and he starts taking pictures at my table. And I said about that big thing. I said, you can have that, man. If your mom lets you take it home, you can have it. And he goes, can I get a picture with you? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, why? He goes, I watch your channel all the time. And I was like,
Oh,
are you serious? And I said, dude, and his mom came over. He goes, yeah, he really loves it. And, we watch it together. And when you're doing dioramas, he's like learning how to do. He goes, you're like his hero. And I was like, oh shit, man.
We should probably watch our language a little better.
And I was like, yeah. And then he had bought one of the outfits for the show, the Cotswold, the brown one and he's like, yeah, I just got this. And he goes, can I put it by your diary? Because I still had one of the dioramas. And I said, yeah, man. He set it up there. Dude, kid was in heaven, man. He was just, and I was like, so I had one of the command coins from base, and I found him. I tracked him down. And first I said, hey, Mom, am I allowed to put his picture up on YouTube? Because you know how that is with old having kids. Picture, yeah. And she's like, oh, yeah, you got my permission. I said, okay. Yeah, I said, okay. I gave him a coin. I said, here you go, buddy. I wish I could have given him something else, but I didn't have any figures or anything. It was just the box stuff. And, he was looking for all the vintage stuff. He was really into the old stuff, which was cool. For a 14-year-old kid. So then he went down to, I think it was Steve Stovall's table, and he bought a ATV with a crane on it in the back and everything.
Oh, nice.
And he got it for like $60, man. And I said, that's good. That's a good deal, man. Just take it home, clean it up. He goes, yeah, I watched your show on how to take the stickers off and get new stickers and stuff. I mean, he was on the ball, man, for a younger kid. And that was really the only younger kid that even stopped at my table. It was mostly the older guys checking out the stuff. And
yeah, I love it when the younger ones get involved.
Yeah, I was surprised I missed a lot of people were asking about the James DeSimone's vehicle that I had there.
Oh yeah.
I was surprised how many older guys knew exactly when that came out and whose it was. And I haven't seen one of those in 20 years, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow.
Right.
Hey, Scuba Pete's online, so you can ask him any questions. He was there. Scuba, what'd you think of the show, man, if you're still there? I know he was only there. He popped in one day on Saturday.
He's
So
still there.
yeah. So.
Well, this is the first time for it, so I'm sure it's going to grow. And then, next time we won't have a hurricane. And nobody knew.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
I planned my vacation and I had to go right down into it, because it was coming across that way. So
Yeah.
I made it worse than you guys, but I just didn't have any bad weather. I was lucky, but yeah, but nobody knew. So next one will be better.
Action Joe Figs is with us. Thank you.
Cause
there. Yeah, Hector flew in, man, which was really cool. He was just kind of a surprise. Didn't know he was going to show. Like I said, there were so many people I took pictures of, and I'm forgetting who it was the three days I was there. But
well, you tried on some of them. I noticed you put the name down below. So
yeah,
that
when I make my video, I'm definitely going to put that up. And
yeah,
I got a lot of pictures of my roommate sleeping and snoring. If you guys want those. And he was actually asleep in the lobby last night while we were all sitting there talking. So I got good pictures of that. He's
on a different time zone, right? Right.
Better be careful.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, his time schedule was all.
Might have some pictures of you.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, Scuba. That's what I said too. I mean, it was awesome. It was just lightly attended, but I think next year, once the word gets out in the new venue, and especially if they advertise at JoeLanta that JoeLanta is going to be in the same place with just as many people, I think it's going to be good. Scott Wild, like I said, I'm just looking through my pictures to see if there's anybody. I finally met Buddy and his wife, in person. We've had him so many times on the show, but I actually got to meet him in person. Big Boss
Did
Jack.
we get Buddy on the show? You think as a
Buddy?
Yeah, as a full, as a get,
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, man.
Yeah, if he's well enough to do it, that'd be great too.
Yeah. I don't know how well this is going to turn out. That's Ethan right there, man.
Yes.
So,
yep. Oh yeah, I saw that.
Dude, he was in heaven, man.
I wasn't sure who he was because you didn't put down, and I didn't know what relation, so I didn't know if it was somebody you knew.
I can't remember this guy's name, but this is the artist that did the Sergeant Slaughter picture.
Oh, right. Okay.
So he's the one signing it for everybody. Got some good pictures of him. Of course, you saw Chuck, right? Our buddy Chuck that's been on the show before.
Chuck. Okay, that Chuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did he do with his set that he was going to sell? Did he sell them all? He only made like 12, right?
Right. Yeah, he sold 3 on Friday, I know. And then my buddy that bought the tent from him went up and bought 2 more. So I don't know if he ended up maybe a couple left over or maybe he sold out. I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't see him on the last day.
I hope he sold them all. That's I liked them. They're pretty cool.
Big Boss Jack. Yeah, it was a great time, man. Even though low attendance, but I think it was still a really good show.
So I have to message Alan to see if he's got any photos of you.
He kept telling me I snore. I was like, I snore. I was like, dude, I snore. And then apparently he stayed at Scuba Pete's for Kentuckiana.
Yeah.
And then Scuba comes up, oh, did I fail to tell you that he snores? I'm like, yeah, you failed to tell me that one.
Did, yeah. Nice.
And then Buddy said the same thing because I guess Buddy Finethy, he stayed there or something. He goes, yeah, it was your turn to take the hit. I was like, oh, okay.
Can you imagine the people in the rooms, the adjoining rooms? What the hell is that noise?
Well, the thing was, and I know he's still listening. He said he's in Florida. And he didn't get his flight yet. The thing was, at night, I'd say, okay, man, it's 11 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock, man. We got to be up at 7, be over there by 8. I don't want to be up too late. And, and that's all right. I just, I watch a couple of TV. Dude, 3:30 in the morning, TV's still on, and he's snoring. I'm like,
his time thing, yeah.
So I'm reaching over to bed and trying to get it without waking him up and trying to turn the TV off. That was all 3 nights, man. Every night I get up like 2, I get up like 2, 3 in the morning. TV's going, lights are on. I'm like, what the hell? Oh, Scuba. That's right. He did tell me he had Alan for 6 days, man, because his flight kept getting canceled to go back over after the Kentuckiana. Yeah. So, but
yeah,
we got a couple more minutes. But I mean, is there any other questions you had on the show? Like I said, I wanted to. kind of clarify things. I mean, a lot of people were saying it was a bad show, worst show ever, blah, blah. You know, I don't have anything to compare it to because I was never at JoeLanta before.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, I guess it was my best show and worst show at the same time because I've only been to one.
Well,
The
it's your first show.
only negatives I heard, like I said, from other people, other than being light, was the area where you had to load and unload in the back because they only let you get like 2 cars in there. Like they have a loading dock.
Oh,
And,
okay.
you know, you had a bottleneck. First, you had to go through a security gate. So not anybody could drive back there unless they were a vendor. Then when you got back there with your car or your trailer or whatever, you had to wait in line for the 2 people in front of you to unload and the next people. So, but like me, I waited till like 1:00. All the big guys were in, you know, Valaverse, they were all getting set up. I had
Right.
no problem. I pulled
You
right
had
up to
no
the,
problem,
I pulled
yeah.
right up to the door, unloaded, you know,
You
5
couldn't
minutes.
you couldn't like unload. You couldn't unload like by the front door anywhere. There was
No,
no
everybody
place
had
to-
to unload and back, and that was hard. But if
Yeah.
you unloaded in the front, you were like on a top level, and then you had to take an escalator down to the floor level. So it was
Oh,
almost more inconvenient to do that. Now, when I was
yeah.
leaving on Sunday, because they were doing the same thing and bottlenecked everybody in back, I made about 5 trips out the front and carried it to the parking lot where my truck was out front. But again, I only had my Jeep full of stuff, and I sold half of it there, so I didn't have all that much to carry.
Right.
Some of those other guys that had 4 or 5 tables, and
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen the
That
vendor
would be
stuff, you
tough.
know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit there. So
Yeah. So note to self: next time, use a cart, a foldable.
no, I had a cart. I had
You
I
had
had a
one?
little dolly, but it only held like 2 of my plastic containers.
Yeah.
And but still, I mean, all in all, if that's your only complaint, you know,
Yeah.
you had to wait in line to.
Well,
But
it's a
again, they
new,
gave you all day Friday. It wasn't like you had a 2-hour limit, you know, loading. You know, you had from 7 a.m. if you wanted to be there, you know, in the rain. But like I said, most people came around 9. But you had from like 9:00 till 5:00 till it opened up. I mean,
Was it convenient for if you left to go for food? I have.
well,
to ask,
they had a cafeteria.
I
Well,
eat.
yeah, they had a cafeteria type thing right outside the door, right where you bought your tickets, and that big lounge area there. That's where most people went. You were allowed to order pizza, I think, and bring it in, you know, but they didn't want like Grubhub stopping it at the front and have to call people. They didn't want that. So,
Yeah.
of course, it's like any venue. It's going to be a little pricey, you know.
Yeah.
You know, $4.50, you know, $4.50, $5 for a water, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's like anywhere, you know.
I bring in my own water. Free.
Ernie, I did not have any seminars. Ace had one. I missed it. He was talking about figures overseas and all different figures from around the world, G.I. Joe, you know. And I mean, there was a lot of seminar. There was a seminar on 3D printing.
Nice.
You know, so I just didn't get any because I was by myself at my table for the most part.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really leave.
That
all
kind
that
of hindered you because you couldn't actually go around doing your interviews and stuff
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. Yeah. So
You needed Rick at your table.
I know Rick or Stacy, man. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys committed to this channel. You got to help me out, man. Next time, you know.
Hey,
Next time.
I do the best I can. Okay.
Never know.
Yeah, I'm planning to go to JoeLanta now. Whether I have a table or just go down to like I did last time and just do interviews.
Yeah.
But I think when people see that venue at JoeLanta, you know, it's gonna definitely do better for JoeLanta.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what you want to do. You know, you could always sell out of your room, and then that way your stuff stays in the room, and then you could close the room up,
Yeah.
and then you could go down and film.
Yeah. Alan did that the first night. He took a picture of, you know, spread it out over his bed and took a picture of everything that he brought from England, all the Action Man stuff, and then just posted on his Facebook page. And then he was there and said, if anybody's interested, he actually did a good trade. He traded one of the Green Panther. I don't know what he called it. It's an army. It's the it's the green version of our blue Panther jet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then the Action Man has a white like snowcat. Did you know that?
I don't know that.
It's a tracker vehicle, but it's painted white with tiger stripes, green tiger stripes on it. And he traded those two for something. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah.
So he did well then too. Then that's good.
Yeah, I'll grab your wife to hold the table down all day on Saturday while I just go around and talk to people. She can sit there all day. She'll probably make more sales scuba than me. It was so funny. I saw them walking in together. I come sneaking up behind them and I pushed Scuba away. I said, "Excuse me, I got to get a picture with your wife." And he didn't know who I was like, what the? I was like,
Who's this guy?
who's this guy hitting on my wife? So,
Yeah.
When is Ernie asked, when is JoeLanta?
March.
Yeah, it's usually
They
in
did
March,
have the
yeah.
date.
It's usually
25, 26, 27, I think. So I
like
showed it
around
on
the 19th or the 20th, usually around that time.
Yeah, I
middle
showed
of
it on a
March.
earlier one.
I don't have
Oh,
the
do you
date.
know? I got him to come on the show. Him and his wife. The dude just.
Oh, yeah. The
His
guy
name
does the
is
$6 million man stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he only does $6 Million Man, and his
Yeah.
wife does Bionic Woman. Dude, he was showing me everything, like all the ones he got signed from him, and trying to just see if I can wrap it up with who else was there, but Scuba's laughing. Well, Oliver's Twist Toys, that was one of them too that said, and GI Dave's. I don't know if you know him.
Mm-mm.
He's coming. He wants to be on the show. I said, cool. Oh, here you go. JoeLanta, March 28, 29, 30.
Yeah,
2025.
It's not
Okay.
JoeLanta 2025.
Yep.
So mark your
Oh, I seen
calendar for
somebody
that.
had the card.
They
up
already
there.
locked it on at the Gas South Convention Center, which is where we were. So easy to get around. I mean, they had the Disney Ice Capades on the other side of our venue. You didn't even know they were there. I mean,
Really?
yeah, that place was so huge. You know what I mean? Like I said, it really was a place they would do a national convention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if the GI Joe organization was still together, you know,
Yeah.
this is where they would have it. It's like one of those kind of places.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
So
Yeah, from what I saw from the stuff, your videos, other people's videos and stuff, it looks like it's plenty big enough. I mean,
oh,
Yeah.
it's huge.
you
It's
know,
a big place.
Yeah, and they have the ability to make it even bigger if they want.
right. Yeah,
the wall-
and I
the
can't tell
walls
you
are
how
full.
nice it is just to be able to walk around and not bump into somebody.
Yeah.
Because
Oh
that's
yeah.
like the major complaint for everybody when they go to shows like that. Like you
Yeah.
can't even get a box and look into it, kneel down with somebody not bumping into you because they're looking up and you're bent down
Yeah.
on the floor looking at stuff.
Alan said it was the AM Pursuit Craft and Snowcat. He traded for an ATV
Oh,
and a
actually,
Super
Pursuit
Go.
Craft. Yeah. Okay.
You know,
I
he's
didn't
talking
know
about.
they made a green the
Yeah,
Panther jet. Yeah, so that
It
would
even
be
said Army on the side, and
yeah, but that's the Pursuit Craft. That's the one with the engines
Yeah.
turned. Yeah.
Alan, if you're still listening, what was the other aircraft you have? Is Chirilla, I think, had a clear dome. It was a green jet. It was a green jet too for GI Joe.
Clear dome.
So anyway, I'm just scrolling through the questions before I
Sure, it
sign
wasn't
off.
the green Action Man helicopter.
No, he didn't have a helicopter. It was two. He had two jets there,
Oh.
but one was Palatoy name brand. The other one was, I thought, Chirilla. Wasn't that one of
Okay.
the?
Oh,
What was the other one?
Shirley.
Shirley. Yeah, Shirley.
Yeah,
Did they make
yeah.
a green jet?
I think they might have. Yeah, I'm not sure. They made a bunch of stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
I know they made a lot of blow molded stuff for.
Yeah.
So he had that as well, but I think that's heading back to England with him. So
I'm sure.
I'm just
yeah.
scrolling through to see if anybody else had any questions. Skunkworks is here. Hey man. Hey Jeff. We need to get together. Did we say our road trip is going to be Kentuckiana, or is it going to be DFW, or when we all getting together? You guys, you're closer
I'm
to
gonna go-
Kentuckiana, right?
Yeah, I'm going to Kentuckiana, so that's the plan. So
Not the Winterfest, not the first one, the second one.
not the winter one. No,
Okay.
maybe next year we'll see how Kentuckiana goes, and maybe I'll go, to the Winterfest one next, the following year. But
Yep.
I'm going to do the Kentuckiana first and see what the drive's like.
Oh, Open by Chance was there. You remember they've been
Yeah,
on.
I saw your
So they-
photos with
So
them.
they
yeah.
said they're going to come on the channel, man.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, I told him, I see it all the time on Terry Lee's. Oh, Terry Lee's son showed up right at the end. I didn't get to see him, but he
Oh,
stopped
nice.
at Ace's table, and Ace had some pictures with him and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
Yeah.
he said he popped in the last minute. I guess I was either breaking down or already gone. So he was the only person I think I missed that I had on my list that said they were going to stop in. But Logic Blaster, you need to come sometime. I see he's in the room. So
Though if you
Patty
do
Ratty?
if you do Kentucky though, we could, and if we can get Rick to come out,
Yeah.
we could do a
We could
do a
just-
show.
We could send somebody up to Hog Time and just make them come and dose them up with
I
something.
walk out the door to go to his truck. Somebody throws a bag over his head.
I will do
Like-
everything in my power to attend.
Are you one of the guys that don't fly anymore either? Or you have to drive, or you fly? You okay with flying?
I
I'm
do
okay with
not.
that.
I won't get on a plane. No.
See,
You won't.
See,
See.
yeah, but that's
Like
okay.
I said,
the bag. He goes
we
in the
do
trunk of the car.
Drug him up. We'll be in Maryland by the time he
That's
wakes
right.
up. And,
Yeah, by the time he wakes up, he'll be in Kentucky.
Ernie
That's
said
what
any
they
cool
did.
pickups?
That's what they did to BJ Baracus in 18.
Yeah, every time he had to fly. Yeah,
They
yeah.
had to drug him.
Drug him. Yep.
That's okay. I'll
He'll
do
be
that.
like, "What am I doing here?" I'm like, "Man, the show's live in 2 minutes. Let's go."
So
Then-
All right,
then
man,
I'll
well,
go to every show.
9:00, and I appreciate everybody coming on. And we still had 10 people in the chat room, which is really cool. I didn't think we'd have anybody because this was
Hey.
not planned tonight, but I'm glad we did it.
No.
And
Yeah.
thanks to you guys for
Yeah,
Always,
thanks,
asking
everyone.
some questions. And I'm sure we'll cover again a little bit on Monday after I get the video out and people have some questions on it. But that gives me something to work on this week. Oh, and you'll be happy to know that I received a package in the mail there, Rick. I hold in my hands the last outfit I need to complete my G.I. Joe collection.
Oh, really?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the Air Force sniper outfit.
Oh,
Very, very elusive. Not too many people ever heard of it. So
yeah.
gonna do
Yeah,
a box
so
open.
what are you going to do now that you're? Then if you're done, then what are you going to do?
I know,
now?
man. I have no idea. That's
Sell
it.
it
Show's
all.
over.
Yeah.
That's it. Show's over, man.
Yep.
No more live stream. I guess maybe I'll have to go to the dreaded 112 scale.
Yeah, break them out, classifieds.
How
I might
dare
get
you.
kicked out of the. I might have to turn
You
in my
got a
man
lot.
card or something.
You got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, you're here.
Well,
for
no,
a
I'll
lot
just
of
have
women.
Angelo. I'll just have Angelo make heads for all the.
Just do the little heads. Yep.
So, all right, guys. I appreciate it again. Thanks for joining us tonight.
All right.
And
you.
I will let you know who the special guest will be. I'm going to work on one of these names that I picked up this weekend for next Monday.
Okay.
So, and you said, who did you get? JoeLanta or who was the person you got?
Well, I can try to reach out to JoeLanta, and then I have Brent Sorson that he was going to see if he could get his stuff together, and then so
Yep.
he's still a possibility. So I haven't messed with him because we've had everybody else kind of
Yeah.
filled us up, But he's
Cool.
one of the last ones, and then I have some other GI Joe buddies that just collectors. I mean, we could always get them on at any other.
Well, I definitely want to get Open by Chance on as soon as I can because they came back to my table twice and took good videos. And we were talking about, them being on Terry Lee's
Terry shit.
channel
Yeah.
and stuff. So,
No, they're great.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're cool. I watch their videos. They're cool.
so.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Happy Monday. I'll see everybody next week.
All right.
All right.
And
Have a good one, guys.
you too. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.